right. Hello, 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 hello. Sean Brady on another fabulous episode of Leverage Your Lunch, where, you want to see what's on the background. There you go. Little Brady eats that. What is that? Oh, little healthy way to eat a burger. Oh, yeah, you got to have a few carbs with the French fries. Yes, you two can do it. There's my hand. Now it's back. All right, so wanted to share that picture with you, little Brady Eats action. That's what was going on for lunch a couple days ago, but I thought I'd share it to make your mouth water and your imagination go. Oh, what a fabulous thing. We're talking about imagination and budgeting and practicing all in this episode. So I'm going to start with a story that Jaleesa encouraged me to repeat. So thanks, Jaleesa. How you doing over there?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
You liking the story so far?
So far, so good. I can't wait to hear it.
You know, it's cool. We do a little research and then you find out some cool facts and then we become astonished with what's going on, don't we?
Yes.
Facts and figures. All right. So here's the story. I'll read it right as it's written on the internet here, and I'll give you the link to that. From the Wisdom Post in their book summary of Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Now, this is a chapter on imagination, and depending on which of the book versions that you have, it's either labeled as chapter 5 or 6. I have it as 5 in my notes. I could be wrong because they use a different version, but they have it as chapter 6. So we'll go with that because that's what they have. But many years ago, a clerk from a drugstore used all his life savings. Now, there's a couple versions of this. What I looked up was how much? $1,750? That's what I looked up. $1,750. And Jaleesa, how much is that in today's dollars?
Almost about 44,000 something.
48,000 bucks.
Oh God.
So if you think about that, he used all his life savings, and on what? Well, he bought an old kettle, a wooden spoon, and a secret formula from a doctor, a chemist specifically, doctor. And it was a good deal for the doctor or the chemist who wanted to retire, but little did the doctor know that it turned out to be a life-changing deal for the clerk who spent all his life savings. The clerk was Asa Candler. I believe that's how it's pronounced, Candler. And Asa knew that he did not really purchase a kettle and the wooden spoon, but an idea. Candler then mixed the ingredient with the secret formula known through his imagination and created, what did he create, Jaleesa?
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola, way back in 1888. Over 100, almost 130 years ago, 32. Yes, quite a while ago, 132 years ago. And think of Coca-Cola today. It's known everywhere. And I know their mission in life and part of their mission statement is to have a Coke within arm's reach of everybody on the planet. Wow. What an aggressive mission statement, right? So he aggressively marketed the new drink and became super successful. And you know how, it's created millions of jobs with it today. Now, Napoleon Hill, who wrote this book way back in the early 1900s, was talking about the use of imagination. Mm-hmm. Here's what this says. He said, Napoleon Hill, says that imagination is one of the most important steps to success that everyone must use. And he explains there's 2 types of imagination. One, synthetic imagination, which is basically simply rearranging existing ideas and thoughts out there today and combining them. Mm-hmm. Right? We do that all the time. It's like, before there were smartphones, there were just cell phones. And before there were cell phones, there were phones. But we just kept moving on and adding different ideas. And now we have the devices that I'm streaming from right now. An iPhone, a smartphone. It does everything. It does video. We don't call it a video phone. No, we just call it a smartphone. And it does do everything. And I use it more than a computer. But going back to this, the other type of imagination is creative imagination, which creates something
from nothing.
From nothing. How cool is that?
Very cool.
Now, most people think that riches come from hard work, which is partially true, right? And Napoleon Hill writes that riches come in response to, this is what I love, from definite demands based on the application of definite principles. When a creator of ideas and a seller of ideas got together and worked in harmony, that's where riches come from.
harmony of the two.
Harmony. Now, does that just happen? No. You got to put some effort. You got to put some work. You get to put some practice into it all. And so this is what I want to underline in practices. And where did I find a cool definition that I liked? Oh, this was from the Cambridge Dictionary. Practice is defined as simply this: to do or play something regularly or repeatedly in order to become skilled at it.
That's a good definition. That's how
Right?
Yeah.
Well, think about that. And I was thinking about that earlier today. Think of a medical practice, right? I went to the doctor yesterday and I had to get some stuff checked out, and I'm okay. But it's a medical practice. And I was thinking about this. I'm like, well, what kind of doctor would I want to go to if they haven't been practicing for 20 years? I don't know.
It depends on the type of doctor, maybe.
It depends, right? Now, would I want to go to that doctor if they were the only person around who had medical training?
Yes.
Probably, yeah. Right?
Yes.
You know, it's like, not that we can't go to Dr. Mom or something like that, or use our own tuition, which we can do.
Yeah.
But it's all a practice. And we look at it and judge that as human beings. We look at the regularity of the practice to see and dictate who we call professionals.
Correct.
Right? Mm-hmm. It could be a professional basketball player, a professional hockey player, a professional medical doctor, an attorney, an accountant. You want somebody who's practicing at this stuff all the time. I've just been, retired from it, or like, oh, I dabbled in it.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
I got a certificate for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing for coaching. You want someone who's actively doing this stuff on a regular basis.
Practicing it constantly.
Practice. One of my favorite coaches, that was his favorite phrase. Here's the secret.
Practice.
Jeff Wilmore, I'll give him a shout out. Practice. That's the secret formula.
That is.
And if we practice working our imagination and creating, not just assembling things, which I do like to do, I think I enjoy that more. Assembling existing things and creating something new, that's pretty fun for me. What's fun for you, Jaleesa?
I like doing that too. I like doing that and then trying to, or also creating things from nothing.
Yes.
One takes
something from, well, I think you do that a lot with your fashion design, right? And you might even take different ideas and it's like, oh yeah, I want to do that. But then eventually you'll have something that's all your own creative inspiration and uniquely yours, not ever seen before by anybody else.
Exactly.
Right?
That's the goal.
Pretty cool. So practice. Let's go a little bit deeper into imagination. I found this and I thought this was really cool. And I specifically found this out of Stanford University, right?
Okay.
So it was first published March 14th, 2011. And I can put the links to all this stuff below eventually. So if it's not there right away, don't make me wrong. But I will put it up there on the YouTube channel. And yes, I am outside on my back porch because I got kicked out of my office. My daughter was doing a trumpet lesson. So there you go. Uncut and unedited. All right. So to imagine is to represent without aiming at things as they actually, presently, and subjectively are. One can use imagination to represent possibilities other than the actual, to represent times other than the present, and to represent perspectives other than one's own. Unlike perceiving and believing, imagining something does not require one to consider that something can be the case. Unlike desiring or anticipating, imagining does something different, right? It does not require one to wish or expect that something to be the case. It's imagining. Imagination is involved in a wide variety of human activities and has been explored from a wide range of philosophical perspectives. Philosophers of mind have examined imagination's role in mind reading and in pretense.
Wow.
So, because the breadth of the topic, this entry focuses on exclusively of contemporary discussions of imagination in the Anglo-American philosophical tradition. That's a whole bunch of words that basically say, what is it that you want to imagine in my world or in your world?
Right. I like
What do
like
you want to imagine, Jaleesa?
I like that it said like that your imagination, like it's created from a place that's not supposed to be subjective,
Yeah.
you know, and it's supposed to be something that's pretty free. But what do I want to imagine? Like what do I want to
Yeah. What do you like when you just let your mind go? What do you imagine? Like, I think of uh, you as an artist, either as an actor or as a designer and a
hmm
creator of, fashion.
think about all of the different creative outlets that I have and then how they could work together.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what I think. So I'm into film, dabble in like a little fashion. I love acting and um and then just like art, modeling, and photography, like those all go together. So
There you go.
anything that I could create out of that, I'm just kind of brainstorming, imagining in my head the possibilities.
Yes. I love it.
Thanks.
Love it, love it, love it, love it. Now, I also put it in there. Did we put budgeting in the title of this? I don't even remember what we did.
We did not. Well, yeah, we did. Budgeting and imagination.
Budget and imagination practices, right?
So,
So when it comes to budget, I know you've got a different definition of this now, but how do you look at budgeting now? Since we've been talking over these, I don't know, couple dozen or so episodes of leverage your lunch hour.
budgeting is a tool to get, oh no, a tool to reach your financial goals and dreams, and more importantly, create the lifestyle that you want for yourself. And it doesn't have to be a terrible thing. You can literally build your budget around the lifestyle you want to have. Boom.
Yeah, I love it.
That's
See, boom.
boom.
It's all fulfilling on something towards something you want.
Correct.
And what you want is different from what I want.
It's my budget. Yeah.
I know. When I go grocery shopping, I am Brady Eats after all.
I know. Where do you go
right?
shopping? Like I feel like
I go shopping everywhere. It doesn't matter, but I always look for the deals that are pertinent to me.
yeah.
And my daughter, she's a vegetarian,
Yeah.
right? So I'm always looking at this like, all right, well, vegetables are always cheap. One, because even if they seem overpriced, they're healthier for you. So I don't mind spending money on vegetables because they're cheaper than meat. You're not going to buy as much, and a pound of vegetables is gonna feed you a whole lot more than a pound of meat.
Yep.
Right? I mean, you can get a whole head of cauliflower for $5, organic, a big old one, bigger than my head.
It's true.
But that's only going to get you about a pound of beef, especially, grass-fed on sale.
Very
You got it at the Aldi for $5.50 right now.
Very true.
Right?
Yep.
And that's just a little package. And if you think about that, that gives you 4 servings. And if you eat 4 servings, well, you might not feel good if you eat 4 servings of it. But 4 quarter pounders, you could probably eat half that cauliflower and overeat it and still feel okay.
Very true.
So I think about what's not only budget for our finances, but budget for our health.
Our health too. They go hand
Right?
in hand.
They do, right? Because without your health, it doesn't matter what your money is.
This is very true.
Without our health, we are nothing.
We are nothing. Yep.
So focus on our budget and our health. Now, all that being said is we get to choose where those dollars, and I like the analogy of soldiers, each dollar is a soldier, and it's going to work in our favor, right? So how we choose to spend our money says a lot about how we choose to live our life.
This is true.
Now, a lot of us, guilty as charged. If we look at our register receipt, how well does it represent what we're committed to?
It's true.
It don't lie. It's the tail of the tape, so to speak.
That's the point.
Right?
Yep.
So budgeting and practice. Now, if we put those two together, it's always personal. And we get to use our imagination. And it's something we're constantly working on to develop that skill and play in an area that's important to us.
This is true. You have to find those areas that are important to you first.
Correct.
The priority.
Yes.
And
And
then,
here's the last thought for this leverage your lunch hour. And it's simply this. It's a little mind bender, but you get to think about it. And some of us have heard this before. But we're always winning the games we're playing.
that's a good one.
We're always winning the games we're playing. Now, this is one of the things I focus on in my coaching, right? We're not always present to the game we're playing.
Oh, whoa. We just got deeper here.
Boom. Sometimes it gets a little deep, but not too deep.
Not too deep. Not too deep. But we're keeping
But
it
if you
real.
want it, we're keeping it real. And if you want to know what you're committed to, easiest way is to look at that tape. Look at the receipts. You know what you buy, even if you throw those receipts away.
Right.
You can't cheat yourself.
You can't cheat yourself. You can't lie to yourself. It's all
You
there.
can't lie to yourself. It's all right there. And we got the results that we got. We got our weight. We got our health. We got our body. Now, there's outside factors that, of course, happen once in a while. But at the end of the day, we're always winning the games we're playing.
Always winning the games we're playing.
So I've said a lot. I feel like I've been jibber jabbering off my soapbox here. What would you like to add? What insight did you just gain or addition you would like to add with your own imagination?
I don't know. Sean. How about you?
You know, I think just that.
Just that.
We're always winning the games we're playing. And how often, even if we know that, we don't take a look and see what game we're playing. Especially when we're frustrated. We're not getting what we want. Or it seems like the world is against us.
This is true.
So we're always winning the games we're playing. And it's all about practice. It's all about practice. It's all about practice.
All about practice.
It's all about practice. That's why we do what we do. All right. Well, that's what I got for this episode. Big shout out to Medici Media Space for providing a fabulous Julissa Powell, our fabulous media coordinator. Thank you, Julissa, for participating today and backing this up.
Well, thank you very much. You're welcome.
Making all this technology stuff work in our favor. So you ready to roll the bumper?
I am.
All right. Well, then, for you watching out there in YouTube land, we may not see you in person, but we'll always see you right here on social media. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for sharing. See you soon.